What do we mean by meaning? What do we mean by inner peace? There is often the image of a state of attachment, of harmony with the world that is quite idyllic and possibly unrealistic. Images of inner peace are all too often removed from what is real and connected to our daily living. We are flesh and blood, and our needs are linked to what is tangible and secure. When the security is taken away, it can feel as though we are drowning in a sea of helplessness. Yet can we attain some measure of inner peace in a state of turmoil? Perhaps the first challenge is to take away the concept of inner peace as a feeling and link it rather to an active element of choice. It is fine to feel frightened. It is normal to feel stuck. What we do with this and how we negotiate this brings about a sense of no matter what, we are okay. The most famous writings on meaning were the result of one of the evilest chapters in recent human history, the concentration camp of Auschwitz. Victor Frankl was an Austrian neurologist and psychiatrist at the outbreak of the Second World War. He and his family were imprisoned in the concentration camps built by the Nazis. He never saw them again. He was the sole survivor. The terrors of concentration camp life, the torture, starvation, the loss of human dignity destroyed many people. Many succumbed to the ongoing trauma, but not everyone. There were those who transcended the darkness, becoming beacons of light. After the liberation, he felt a strong calling to reflect on the horrors, but also the many miracles he witnessed on a daily basis. Why was it that some people lost all sense of compassion, becoming as cruel as their torturers? Yet some became beacons of hope in the light of darkness. Victor Frankl's book, Man's Search for Meaning, is surprisingly easy to read, yet at the same time extremely difficult. He puts his mind into trying to understand the horrors that he just experienced, yet also the greatness of the human heart. The result of his experiences and his work brought about a new dimension in the study of psychology. He developed a new system of working called logotherapy. He realized that those who had meaning rooted in love and greater purpose maintained their dignity even in the darkest of evil. He saw that outside circumstances can never take away our ability to choose and the ability to be free. We are often under the impression that we are free. That is until everything is removed. Once the security and outer layers of protection are taken away, everything changes. And it is only then, in our nakedness to what is real, that the authentic survives. We often surround ourselves with props, ignoring our deepest calling. The material and the pursuit of happiness for its own sake becomes the outward calling card to success. But is it real, and is it truly authentic? Victor Frankl used the term calling in a psychological sense. It has often been used in a religious context when people feel called to God. He stressed that each person has a calling and each person bears the responsibility to heed that calling. In the words of Victor Frankl, everyone has his own specific vocation or mission in life. Everyone must carry out a concrete assignment that demands fulfillment. Therein, he cannot be replaced, nor can his life be repeated. Thus, everyone's task is unique as his specific opportunity to implement it. So calling is linked to our uniqueness, something that cannot be repeated. It is also linked to desire and love. It is the willingness to sacrifice time and energy for something sometimes intangible. It is never linked to material values or to harm others. At an individual level, how can we determine our calling? What has given you the greatest joy in life? Has this challenged you in any way? Has this current crisis exposed a deeper longing, perhaps an emptiness? Has it left a longing to start again? It is a time for everyone to dig deep. So much is no longer in our power. The current crisis has the ability to take away the external, but it cannot take away our freedom to choose. This is the deepest truth that Victor Frankl experienced in his days of horror. We are born with imagination, a capacity to dream. Small children spend most of their days constructing a world, telling their story. Go back to a time when you had dreams of the kind of life you wanted to live, a life that would have been linked to your own unique and special calling. Imagination has the capacity to lift us up and help us create another tomorrow. Again, Victor Frankl urges, those who have a why to live can bear with almost any how. Do you know your why? Or have you been focusing too much on the how? The why might be in a mission, it might be in a family, but it is always something greater in the human spirit. Victor Frankl says, everything can be taken from man, but one thing, the last of human freedoms, to choose one attitude in any given set of circumstances, to choose one's own way. This takes time and patience and daily commitment to self-growth and awareness. Choice is always a process and gets better with practice. I urge people to set aside time each day. In the morning, what is my plan and why? In the evening, how can I be grateful for what the day has given? Victor Frankl stated, in some way suffering ceases to be suffering at the moment it finds its meaning. Such is the meaning of sacrifice. I've noticed that when people believe that their suffering serves some great purpose, they can put up with almost anything. It might be parents sitting with an empty plate to put their children through education. It could be the student sitting night after night studying while his peers party and play. Suffering is pain until it finds its purpose. Victor Frankl's attitude was forged in the darkest of days, a time when any redemption seemed impossible. Yet he came out speaking a language of hope. He survived by thinking and believing that he had a purpose greater than any darkness and uncertainty. That is my challenge to you. Do you believe in a purpose? Do you believe in something greater? Do you believe that the darkness can't take it away? If you liked my talk, please subscribe. My name is Wendy. I'm a clinical psychologist. Thank you.